Hi, welcome to this new YouTube video. Today I am say about vegetable agriculture. 1. Rice. Sowing season is winter. Sowing depth is 2 to 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30 by 30 centimeters. Days to maturity is 4 to 5 months. 2. Wheat. Sowing season is winter. Sowing depth is 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 7 by 7 centimeters. Days to maturity is 7 to 8 months. 3. Lentils. Sowing season is winter. Sowing depth is 3 to 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 20 to 30 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 80 to 110 days. 4. Field peas. Sowing season is winter. Sowing depth is 5 to 6 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 20 to 30 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 95 to 100 days. 5. Pigeon pea. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 2 to 3 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 60 to 75 centimeters between rows, 15-20 centimeters between plants. Days to maturity is 4 months. 6. Green gram. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 5 to 7 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30 by 30 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 90 days. 7. Black gram. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 2 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 70 days. 8. Cowpea. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 3 to 5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 35 to 45 centimeters between rows, 8-10 centimeters between plants. Days to maturity is 60 to 90 days. 9. Soya bean. Sowing season is monsoon summer. Sowing depth is 3 to 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45 to 60 centimeters between rows, 4 to 5 centimeters between plants. Days to maturity is 45 to 65 days. 10. Millet. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 75 to 80 days. 11. Sorghum. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 5 to 7.5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30 to 80 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 90 to 120 days. 12. Groundnut peanut. Sowing season is monsoon winter summer. Sowing depth is 2.54 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15.24 to 20.32 centimeters. Days to maturity is 1 to 150 days. 13. Onion. Sowing season is monsoon summer winter. Sowing depth is 0.635 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 2.54 to 5.08 centimeters. Days to maturity is green onions, 20 to 30 days. Dry bulb onions, 175 days. 14. Tomatoes. Sowing season is monsoon winter. Sowing depth is 2 to 3 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 10 to 15 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 50 to 90 days. 15. Asparagus. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.5 to 45.7 centimeters. Days to maturity is the first year after planting, harvested for its 7 days, the second year harvest for its 14 days, the third year harvest for its 3 weeks, the fourth year harvest for its 30 to 36 days, and by year 5 when the plants have reached full maturity the harvest for it approximately 6 to 7 weeks. 16. Broad bean. Fava bean. Sowing season is summer between monsoon and winter. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 20.3 to 25.4 centimeters. Days to maturity is 240 days. 17. Bush lima bean. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 5.1 to 7.6 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 80 days. 18. French bean. Sowing season is summer, monsoon, winter. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 10.16 to 15.24 centimeters. Days to maturity is 40 to 45 days. 19. Broccoli. Sowing season is winter-summer. Sowing depth is 3.8 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is grown from seed in 100 to 150 days. 20. Peas. Sowing season is summer-winter. Sowing depth is 2.5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 2.5 to 5 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 70 days. 21. Beetroot. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 2.54 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 5.1 to 7.6 centimeters. Days to maturity is 45 to 65 days. 22. Cabbage. Sowing season is monsoon-winter. Sowing depth is 0.64 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45.7 to 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is 80 to 180 days. 23. Carrot. Sowing season is summer-winter. Sowing depth is 0.64 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 10.16 centimeters. Days to maturity is 75 days. 24. Cauliflower. Sowing season is summer, monsoon, winter. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45.7 to 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is 90 to 120 days. 25. Celery. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 0.64 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 20.32 to 25.4 centimeters. Days to maturity is 130 days. 26. Chickpea. Sowing season is end of monsoon and start of winter. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15.24 to 20.32 centimeters. Days to maturity is 90 to 100 days. 27. Spinach. Sowing season is monsoon, end of winter to summer. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 5.08 to 10.16 centimeters. Days to maturity is 45 days. 28. Corn. Sowing season is last week of summer to first fortnight of monsoon, last week of monsoon to first half month of winter, last month first week of winter. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.8 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.48 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 100 days. 29. Cucumber. Sowing season is summer-winter. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.48 centimeters. Days to maturity is 50 to 70 days. 30. Eggplant. Sowing season is winter, end of summer to start of monsoon. Sowing depth is 0.64 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45.7 to 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is 1010 days. 31. Lick. Sowing season is last half month of winter and start half month of summer. Sowing depth is surface, sow, cover it lightly. Sowing spacing is 15.24 to 22.86 centimeters. Days to maturity is 120 days. 32. Muskmelon. Sowing season is winter. Sowing depth is 2.54 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45.7 to 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 110 days. 33. Mustard. Sowing season is summer, monsoon. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15.24 to 30.48 centimeters. Days to maturity is 30 to 40 days. 34. Ladyfinger okra. Sowing season is monsoon, summer, winter. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.48 to 45.72 centimeters. Days to maturity is 55 to 65 days. 35. Potato. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 10.16 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.48 to 45.72 centimeters. Days to maturity is 70 to 120 days. 36. Sweet potato. Sowing season is end of summer and start of monsoon. Sowing depth is 7.62 to 12.7 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30.48 to 45.72 centimeters. Days to maturity is 100 days. 37. Radish. Sowing season is end of summer and start of monsoon. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15.24 centimeters. Days to maturity is 22 to 70 days. 38. Chili. Sowing season is summer monsoon winter. Sowing depth is 0.5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 60 by 45 centimeters, 75 by 60 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 120 days. 39. Pepper. Sowing season is last month of summer monsoon winter. Sowing depth is 0.64 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45.72 to 60.96 centimeters. Days to maturity is sweet peppers 60-90 days, hot peppers 150 days. 40. Bitter gourd. Sowing season is winter and first month of summer, last month of summer and first month of monsoon, summer in hills. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.0 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 120 by 90 centimeters. Days to maturity is 84 to 112 days. 41. Capsicum. Sowing season is last month of monsoon. Sowing depth is 0.5 to 0.635 centimeters. Sowing spacing is row to row spacing 50 centimeters and plant to plant spacing 40 centimeters. Days to maturity is 60 to 110 days. 42. Lemon. Sowing season is last month of summer to monsoon. Sowing depth is 1.27 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 4 meters by 4 meters to 5 meters by 5 meters. Days to maturity is 150-160 days, capable of producing fruit for 3 to 6 years after planting. 43. Bottle gourd. Sowing season is winter, last month of summer to first month of monsoon, summer. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.0 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 2 meters to 3 meters by 1 meter to 1.5 meters. Days to maturity is 60 to 120 days. 44. Drumstick. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.0 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 3 meters in rows 3 meters apart. Days to maturity is 1 to 180 days. 45. Colocasia. Sowing season is summer winter. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 7.5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 45 centimeters in rows 60 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 1 to 150 days. 46. Garlic. Sowing season is last month of summer to first month of monsoon, last month of monsoon to first month of winter. Sowing depth is 5.08 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 5.08 to 10.16 centimeters. Days to maturity is 150 days. 47. Ginger. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 3 to 4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15 to 20 centimeters between rows, 30 centimeters between plant. Days to maturity is 210 to 40 days. 48. Ridged gourd loofah. Sowing season is summer to first month of monsoon, last mid-month of winter to first month of summer. Sowing depth is 2.5 to 3.0 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 3 meters wide, 75-90 centimeters apart. Days to maturity is 70 to 80 days. 49. Turmeric. Sowing season is summer. Sowing depth is 3.0 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 30 centimeters between row, 20 centimeters between plant. Days to maturity is 210-300 days. 50. Coconut. Sowing season is summer, last month of summer and first month of monsoon winter. Sowing depth is 25.4 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 7.5 by 7.5 meters. Days to maturity is tree will mature and begin to yield fruit after 5 years. 7 to 12 months every year. 51. Ice apple or sugar palm, toddy palm, palmyra palm. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 10 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 3 to 6 m apart. 3 meters by 3 meters, 10 centimeters. Days to maturity is 13 to 21 year after planting, February to May. 52. Bean usage Manilcura hexandra. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 2.54 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 7 to 8 m with 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters pit. Days to maturity is 2 to 3 year after planting, October to November, February to March, April, May. 53. Star gooseberry. Sowing season is monsoon. Sowing depth is 0.635 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 6 meters by 6 meters with 1 meter by 1 meter to 1.25 meters by 1.25 meters pit size. Days to maturity is 2 to 3 year after planting, May, June, July. 54. Plum. Sowing season is winter monsoon. Sowing depth is 5.08 to 7.62 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 15 centimeters by 30 centimeters. Days to maturity is not produced fruit every year. Bear fruit 3 to 6 years after planting, June to September produce fruit. 55. Peach. Sowing season is last month of summer to monsoon winter. Sowing depth is 5 centimeters. Sowing spacing is 12 to 16 centimeters. Days to maturity is produced fruit every year. Bear fruit 3 to 4 years after planting, July to August produce fruit. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe, like and click on bell icon.